Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
Hi everybody. Thought I'd talk about this knife today. Now this is a knife made in Germany. It's made by Kaufmann. We can open the blade here and show that. See there, Kaufmann K55K. And then on the back side here it says Solingen, Germany. Got a little schmutz there, I think. Or maybe that's an imperfection in the blade, I don't know. Nice stainless steel blade as far as I can tell. Nice flat grind, wonderful little spear blade there. And then it has two other implements on there, or two other tools going on there. This one is a flathead screwdriver with a wire stripper there. So I assume that this knife is used probably as an electrician knife or something of that nature. However, it's also got this blade over here, which is a quarter round punch, and really nice awl. You can see there, nice edge there too. This can definitely do some tooling work on leather. It can also punch holes through drywall and things of that nature. Now, the thing about this knife is I continuously see this knife being sold on eBay with a wood handle and being listed as a Wehrmacht Pioneer / Sapper knife. I don't know if that's for real or not, and if it is, then I wonder if this is a knife that was adopted by the Bundeswehr after World War II and continued to be used by the German army before this knife was adopted. I don't know. I really don't know. But it is something that I'm curious about. And unfortunately, I'm not finding a lot of English language sources on this knife, which doesn't surprise me a lot. There is definitely an American bias when it comes to like an electrician knife because, well, we've got the TL29. This is very popular, and this is the knife that when you hear electrician knife, this is what you think of in America, you know, the TL29. Similar spear point blade when you think about it, except this one I believe is a larger spear point blade, so a bigger blade on it, as you can see there. Let's go this way. See that? Yeah, definitely a longer blade. This one is tapping out. See that? Definitely a longer blade on the Kaufmann. And then you also have the screwdriver and the wire stripper here. This is a sharpened edge, and this is a locking screwdriver, as opposed to this knife that is not a locking screwdriver, but it does have a good wire stripper there. So you don't have a long screwdriver, but you do have a fairly useful screwdriver on the knife. And unlike the American electrician knife, this one has that awl or punch on there, and I think that's why this knife is usually referred to as a pioneer knife or a sapper's knife, because we have the punch here. And this would be something you would use to like poke a hole into your plastic explosive, or you know, like C4 or something like that, so that you could insert a blasting cap or some dead cord or something like that in order to set off a charge. And actually, that's why on this knife is often referred to as the demo knife, because it wasn't because, you know, demo as in demonstration. It was called demo because it was used for setting up demolitions and stuff in Vietnam. That's where the name demo came from, and it's because you use the punch on these knives for poking a hole in your C4 so you could insert a charge and stuff, you know, the blasting cap and such. So this was a demo knife. This was a linesman knife because, well, it did not have such a thing. So I'm curious, I really am. I'm wondering if this was the German version of the demo knife, and if it really was something that showed up during World War II. You know, it might have been something that they adopted. I don't know. like I've said, I've seen numerous reports that that's what this knife is, but I haven't seen them from a source that I would consider, how would you say it, authoritative. I would not say I've seen it from anything authoritative that said, yeah, this is a knife that was used by German forces from X date to this date, and it was something that was given to combat engineers or anything like that. I have not seen anything of that nature for this knife. It does look like something that would be useful for that, but that doesn't mean it was actually used or adopted for that. This one, man, I really got to oil it. I haven't done anything with it, but it is fairly well made. You can see there it's got the nice bird's eye rivets. That's what really attracted me to the knife. Also the nice black handles on there. It looks really smooth. And I mean, the fit and finish is okay. Looks better than it is. I mean, there's no real gapping here, but this pin is very proud, and you can definitely feel it when you hit your hand on it, and the edges are a little bit sharp on that pin, so could definitely use some filing down and stuff. And like I mentioned, I definitely need to do some oiling because the joints are pretty tight on there, but the joints being tight on there also means absolutely no blade wobble on here. But I'm just very curious about it. I will throw in some photos comparing it to the TL-29 and also the demo knife by the U.S. Army. And what the heck, I'll even throw in some photos of the German Army knives for comparison in the slideshow. But if anyone knows more about this knife, I'd really like to hear from you. I got a feeling the folks in Europe might be more familiar with this knife than us ignorant Americans when it comes to knives made in Europe. Yeah, I don't think this is made for the export market. It might have been. I'm just curious if it's actually an electrician knife that was or is used in Germany today. And also, I'm really curious if a predecessor of this knife was actually used by German forces during World War II, you know, by, you know, sappers. Could have been, but there's so many could have beens out there when it comes to knives that were used by the German army in World War II. It's one of those things that people love to throw out there, but there's actually no true evidence or proof of it. But this knife, this one at least seems plausible to me, especially if it was old enough and actually like the ones that I've seen with wood handles. However, there's also modern reproductions of these with wood handles as well. So if anyone knows, let me know, because I'm very curious about it. Okay, before I get into the slideshow, I want to talk a little bit more about the tang stamp on this knife, and also mention that I actually did oil the knife. I gave it a couple drops of coon pea on all the joints, and well, surprise, surprise, it's like a miracle. The knife functions more properly now. But onto this tang stamp, because the tang stamp is Kaufmann K55K. And that K55K is very much associated with a knife made by Mercator. Mercator K55K, the cat knife. And this kind of confused me a little bit because it's like Kaufmann K55K, Mercator K55K. Well, doing a little investigation, I found out that Mercator is actually a tang stamp of Kaufmann as well. Kaufmann had the trademark for both K55K and Mercator. Mercator was a line of knives that was made by Kaufmann as well. And the K55K refers to the address of Kaufmann. The first K actually stands for Kaufmann. The last K stands for cat. That's why the Mercator knives are known as the black cat knives. And Kaufmann used the K55K tang stamp on a variety of knives. So it wasn't just on the Black Cat knife. However, Kaufmann went out of business in 1995, and the Mercator line was picked up, both Mercator and the K55K tang stamp. Those trademarks were picked up by Otter Messer, and that's where it lives on. So the Mercator K55K Black Cat knives are basically the remnants of the knives that Kaufmann used to make. Kaufmann actually was in business from around 1865 all the way through 1995. So they had a good run. They obviously did make knives during World War II. If they made knives specifically for the German army, I don't know. The thing with that is a lot of records were destroyed during World War II. That's just a flat out fact. And the other thing is a lot of companies also wanted to distance themselves from Nazi Germany, you know. So if they had contracts or something with them, it might have accidentally fallen into a fire or something like that. But chances are, we know that Kaufmann made knives for Germany during World War I. Chances are they also made them during World War II. Was this an issued knife? I have no idea. Have no idea at all. Did they continue to issue something like this to the Bundeswehr after World War II, you know, in the 1950s, 60s? I have no idea. I really don't. So if somebody has any information on that, that would be really great to know. I doubt that is the kind of information I'm going to find from an American source, though. Maybe some German source has more information about that and the Kaufmann company. In any case, with that said, let's move on to the slideshow.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.